as always, just such an amazing day. It was beautiful weather. It was a great ceremony. One of my personal favorites is always when they commission the officers. I think everybody gets a little tear in their eyes. It's amazing. It's just such a good day. So for those of you on the board who have not come to that event, I would encourage you to do so. It's a really happy day. So with that being said, I will get started on our meeting. The first thing that we need to do is address an action item. We have appointments and reappointments to the University of Virginia's College at Wise Board. All of that information is included in your packet, so I will not go into details about each of these wonderful candidates, but we have the reappointment of Leighton Harding Jr. We have the reappointment of Louis Lee. We have a new appointment of Tamara Ely and a new appointment of William Thompson III. So do we have a motion to accept these appointments?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Just a question for the reappointments. Is there a two-term limit on this? Is this their second?
No, the bylaws for the College Board do not have term limits.
Okay.
And so those reappointments can happen. There are term limits on appointments on the Executive Committee, but not on the College.
And so how long have these reappointments already served?
Leighton Harding, I believe this is his second reappointment, first reappointment,
Probably the second.
second reappointment
Yeah,
for
I think
Leighton.
this is his third term.
Yeah, and Louis Lee, I believe, has actually served on the College Board since
Since time immemorial.
at least 2000.
At least 20 years.
Since the mini mart was there.
Right. He was my sixth grade basketball coach.
Thank you.
They're both longstanding, actually wise members of the community.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need a
I
vote.
would move all four appointments.
So vote.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so now I'm going to turn our meeting over to Donna Henry, who's going to give us an update.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So I'll give a few updates. Things are moving along in WISE. It will be another good year for enrollment. So in our enrollment report, I'm really focused on new students. And right now, our new student numbers are trending ahead of last fall by about 100 students. So that is, last fall, we had 500 new students. So right now, it's looking like 600 new students. So many of them are local WISE students and had desire to live at home and commute, which is good news because we've added 32 beds. So right now, all of our beds, as we look at those numbers in housing, we've got about 80 open beds, and we still have 120 students who have not selected housing. So we are working to sort all those details out, and we think we're going to be okay, but that is something that we're working through. So one of the things as we begin our master planning process is we're going to look at a new housing unit. We don't want to build too much because we know enrollments right now with students graduating high school, but we do need additional housing. So we do have an opportunity. We could add another 32 beds adjacent to the new apartments that are going in. So these are all the things that we'll be weighing, and then we will come back to the board with a plan and some goals for how we'll move forward there. But excited about the enrollment. Today is an orientation day at the college, and there will be 100 students at the orientation. And last 2 weeks ago, we had an orientation with 100 students, which was the largest first orientation that we've had. I also like to report on the year in WISE numbers. Right now, we have 97 students who have said they would like to be a part of the Year in WISE program. So that is a good number. Last year, we landed at about 107 in the fall semester. So, but UVA has not yet released the wait list. So we'll see, those numbers will fluctuate a little bit once the wait list is released, but that is a strong number as well. So, so we're excited about that as we move ahead. The graduate program enrollment is also looking up. Right now, we have 20 students who have indicated they would like to join us in the fall, but there are another 20 applications under review for the graduate program. That's the master's in education. So, so that is all good news. The graduate certificate in technology management and data analytics that we just in the finance committee approved the tuition for, that is a new degree. It's actually not a degree program, it's a certificate that will enroll students this fall. Moving through the SHEV process can be time consuming, and I'm pleased to say that that degree program has just been approved. It is a modification. As you know, we are seeking approval for a master's degree in that area, and SHEV has not approved the master's degree yet. There is now a new process for degree approval with SHEV, which is supposed to be more expedited. So we are going to move that degree program forward under the new process. And then we also have our master's in nurse practitioner degree program that will be moving through the SHEV process. I think some good news on that front. As you know, Scott Fleming is the new executive director of SHEV. He is making his way around the Commonwealth and visiting institutions, and he will be on WISE on Monday and Tuesday to visit UVA WISE. We'll get to meet with our leadership team, and we'll get to see the college firsthand. So I'm looking forward to that because I think it's important for the leadership of SHEV to understand the college, our goals, and how we're working. So I will continue to keep you updated on that. And just know that we will continue to work to make those things happen. And then the final part of my report, which is always a fun part of the report, is the Crockett Award. So the Crockett Award, as you know, is an award that we bestow on someone at the University of Virginia who has made extraordinary effort to support the college at WISE. So I'll read through the resolution and then present the award. So in 1995, Clinch Valley College presented its first Samuel R. Crockett Award, and the award is named for Samuel R. Crockett Jr., who in 1954 was the University of Virginia's Extension Division representative in Southwest Virginia. Mr. Crockett was instrumental in establishing a division of the University of Virginia in WISE. And this award is presenting to an individual who has made significant efforts towards strengthening the relationship between the University of Virginia and the college at WISE. And since 1995, the award has been given 25 times. Past recipients include John T. Castine III, Leonard Sandridge, Barry Meek, Colette Sheehy, Mark Llewellyn, Dave Martell, Jim Ryan, and J.J. Davis. And this year's Crockett Award is presented to Robert D. Hardy. Mr. Hardy has achieved exemplary work in building stronger ties between the college at WISE and UVA. He has visited campus for commencement and participation in finance classes, where he has shared his insights and expertise through thoughtful discussions with students, and he has also attended the UVA WISE baseball team senior day recognition and congratulated each senior player with their families. Additionally, Rector Hardy recognizes the crucial role and immense value UVA WISE provides to the region and the Commonwealth. This is demonstrated by the opportunities he provides by offering valuable experiential learning internships to UVA WISE students enrolled in the Hospitality and Tourism program. This partnership allows UVA WISE students to gain essential skill sets needed to successfully lead within the global hospitality and tourism industry by gaining real-world experience. Rector Hardy also understands the importance of UVA-Wise's mission to educate and elevate the social mobility of students by ensuring student success through graduation by supporting the Chancellor's Fund for Success. This fund allows students to stay enrolled in college by providing emergency support to students who are experiencing financial hardships to stay enrolled in the college, and those students, together with the college as a whole, appreciate his generosity. Rector Hardy, thank you so much for serving as a visionary leader who has helped the college at Wise as we continue to move forward with our mission and to provide an outstanding academic experience for our students. Thank you. New piece of Crockett Hall, so it's a.
I'm overwhelmed. Thank you.
Okay, with that, I will turn the program over to Karen Carter.
Well, thank you all again for having me here. It's my pleasure to represent the faculty at UVA Wise, and we have been very busy during this last session since March and so forth. So we had our big research day back in April 17th, and you'll see this young lady that's here in the middle, Lucy. She has just been an outstanding hard-charging individual. She comes to us from Manchester, UK, and she's one of our great tennis players. She is just a math major and just turning and learning as far as research. She's gotten several accolades with research. Oh, sorry. No, there you go. So we had 55 presenters during the day. So we take a break from classes and we have faculty and staff, and we have faculty and students, and we have students. And so we really encourage everyone to present. And as you can see, 45 students actually presented either from posters or actually papers. And Lucy actually won we couldn't say it, but I noticed it was awarded. She got the Stallard Award and will be working as a research assistant with two of our faculty. And I cannot remember the formula that she's using. You may remember. Trying to see the size of particulates inside the heart and whether the flow and the pressure moves itself through the heart quicker with round or square, and they can be able to diagnose the treatment for it to be able to reduce the issuance of stroke. So that's going to be some fantastic research that she's coming through. So.
And she will be the first fellow on this new fellowship that was created by a faculty member or by an alum of the college. So we're very excited for that research fellowship.
Yes. Forward. And she will do a fantastic job as being the maiden voyage. Part of the UVA Brain and Neuroscience Grand Challenge, Mitchell Meltzer received a grant seed funding for the role of personal relevance, predicting eyewitness recognition accuracy. So he's been doing quite a bit of work with this in the past, and so this is going to be very exciting. He's using a lot of student development with him as well, how to recognize eyewitness accounts and so forth. And so we've all had those things, tell me what you saw. And so we have several people, seeing different things and different impacts. And so he's trying to bring the psychology notion in with the neuroscience in this development. So looking forward to his research and the grand challenge of that. Green Bank Observatory was done by one of our second year professors, Islan Khan. He's a physics professor, took 14 students up to I took a group of students a few years ago to this, and it's always an eye-opening when the students go up and you drop into the quiet zone and all of a sudden their cell phones don't work. And they're like, how do these people exist? And so one of the things was we actually had to put our phones in a box, and the microwave is in a steel box. And so it was just a very eye-opening experience for them. And so they got an opportunity to pull data throughout the night, do some observations, and actually do some analysis with the telescope and operate. They didn't get to operate the 40-foot, but they did operate one of the smaller ones. So kind of cool. I will be taking a student with me over to Luxembourg. We're doing a site visit for our international sister school, and we're working with them to see how we've been collaborating with our other 4 sister institutions from Japan, Brazil, France, Spain, and Luxembourg. And so we've been doing the quantitative side to see what they're doing, and now we want to go do the observations about the curriculum. So hopefully this visit is tentatively scheduled for July. We're trying to make some final connections with some area industry to see how they're using their AI and their curriculum development and how it's being affected inside of their day-to-day industry development, and how can we at UVA wise make sure that we're on track to be producing that workforce as well. We're excited about that, and that's work with the Commonwealth Cybersecurity Initiative. It's being funded with them. There's Lucy again. She was working with Teacher Explorers program. This is a program that Michael Potter, one of our mathematics instructor, tries to, best way to learn is to teach. So he provided this opportunity to these 3 individuals. And so they developed courses and taught 2 different sequences inside of Calculus 1, 2, and 3, and developed the activities, and then worked with the students to make sure that they understood those. And so this has been just a great program to help them to understand, it's one thing to sit and listen and be productive inside of a class, but then to turn around and be the teacher of that class and making sure that that learning outcomes are being met. So Lucy said this was one of the great, amazing experiences. And again, like I said, we see Lucy in the hallways. She is one of our always go-to people for tutoring inside of our hallways in math and computer science.
So if she's doing calculus, was the name of that equation Bernoulli?
No. It is not. And I have her presentation. I can look it up.
That's all right. That's all right.
But
I'm having flashbacks as soon as you said it.
Yeah, when you talked about, when she was talking about the flow, I was thinking Bernoulli too.
Nanar, does that sound correct? Nanar?
Or Chelly, or,
I'll have to look it up, because like I said,
don't worry. I don't want to.
Now you're just bragging.
If she shows up again with calculus 1, 2, and 3,
I know,
so
yeah.
it was a
She is-
logical guess.
She is very procedural.
That's fine.
So 2 of our professors, Priscilla and Elizabeth, took a couple of our budding young teachers out to an institute on March the 7th, and they were identified as teachers with promise, especially as we know the teacher shortage that's going on across the nation. So our education department is doing a fantastic job of helping to make sure that our teachers are being prepared and bringing them to the forefront new and budding processes. So proud of those folks for being recognized as our 2 budding teachers that's coming forward. One of our other, Donald Sora, is our professor of, I said education, but he is professor of music. I do apologize. I don't know. I think education music, this is where this came from. But Donald is our distinguished professor of Apple institution. So he does a lot of work with our students and fantastic work. Here you see with Charlie and Ian and Cameron and Yvonne and Cody, they've been working really hard. They had actually went out and did a lot of award development and so forth. So anytime you go past Donnie's studio, someone's always in there playing and developing, and he does a fantastic job of encouraging them to go outside of their comfort zone and really get into some of the music development and performing those arts. And the young man there at the bottom, Cameron, he's got the UVA Cavs. He's actually a computer science major. And so we're really interested in kind of seeing how the computer science and the music world is intertwining itself with that development. And so he's doing a lot of work, interdisciplinary work. So it's kind of interesting to work with Cameron as well. So Donnie also moved in with a jazz ensemble. It was kind of interesting because of his background with the Apple Distinguished Professor. He used his iPad. He had a whole genre of songs, and so the audience got to pick and choose, kind of like a Wheel of Fortune. They spun the wheel and saw what was come up next. And so the kind of put the performing students at on their toes as far as being ready to come to whatever the spin came up, they were ready to produce and to play the song. So he does a great job with them. And he is also producing his own music. He had it performed during the Pro Art concert on Sunday the 23rd with his fellow companions there, with the Dave Edgar and Miss Sue, I think is, if my pronunciation for the Chinese name there is correct. Yeah, okay. And then the Mountain Empire Regional Honors Band, he had 2 of his pieces that were performed during that time. They were called Radiant Reveille and Evolution. So he is a busy, busy professor on our campus. And so two of his, you saw there with Cameron and Cody, they actually played, and he received an honorable mention with fourth place with some of the game trailer competitions. As we know, music, I think I heard where Jaws came about. We can barely hear that music, and we know that whole instance with the Jaws genre. And so this is becoming a big competition with the gamings and so forth. And especially, I'm not a gamer, but that is a very highly competitive arena with the music and the tones and so forth that helps you to build suspense and development within those games. So, but we have a couple of folks that are really hard charging in that. So we also had Crepe Night that was going on. So Claire does a fantastic job with trying to bring authentic development with our students. So she found a nice little coffee shop over in Abington, Virginia, that serves lovely French crepes and has the menu in French and speaks only in French. And so she does a nice job of taking the students over so that they can be immersed in their French. And so they play a little game. If they drop out of their French and start talking in English, they get demerits. So they have a great time going over and working there. So this is actually a picture. I took a page from Dr. Johnson's. So I love some of our beautiful pictures that we have on Flag Rock. I pass this every morning. I come in to work going through Norton. So I had to include this with my presentation today. But our Peaks Honors Program and the new faculty, we had our largest new faculty cohort last year. We had 10 new members. They collaborated and went over to the Barter Theater to see the production of Hamlet, and they had a fantastic time getting to know our honor students and then our new faculty that was coming on board. So they did a great job. One of our culminating April events is the Wise Community Egg Hunt. And so as you see, we had 600 participants. These come from all over the community. As someone who helped to pack those 5,000 eggs and get those ready to go, that takes us several weeks to get them all packed and ready to be dispersed. And so we use a lot of the athletics. Heather Evans heads this up with our experiential learning hub, and so getting them hid, if you've been on our campus, and hiding them around and watching the kids just go and find all these eggs, it's just a great celebration and brings our community together. And so everybody gets a free hot dog and drinks, and we had over 50 baskets that we gave away for Easter that day. So it was a great community event and brings everybody together from students to staff, community, and so it was a fun day. So Heather Evans, as I said, she another, like Donnie is just turning and burning. She actually won our Professor of the Year. This is nominated by her colleagues. And so she is a busy lady taking care of the experiential learning. She did some fantastic things with her Southwest Virginia political scandals with her political science. She is a political science instructor. Corn dogs to pork rinds. And so we had an opportunity to, she had her students present these during Research Day as well. And so some of the things that were actually very interesting about some of the things that have happened in Southwest Virginia. And a gerrymandering art show was also quite interesting. And that was kind of near and dear to my heart because we used some of the, being from computer science and using some of the, our programs to be able to help determine what was happening in some of the gerrymandering and stuff. So she's very, very active with our students with experiential learning and showing them and setting the pathways to research and then finding out what's going on in your local area. Heather Esky was also awarded the Virginia Society for Technology Educator of the Year. So she is one of our folks that is our bridge developers. She works downstairs from me, and if there's something going on in the K through 12, she is the lady to go to. She has the workshops. As a matter of fact, she is doing several workshops from Lee County to Roanoke, Montgomery County, and helping to bring inclusion with the iPad development and getting those kids as far back as third grade interested in STREAM processes and just hard charging. And like I said, if you need to know where anything's going on as far as bridging with education, bringing into UVA Wise, helping these kids to get on campus, because we know if more we can get them on campus, the more they feel comfortable. As an early age, we want them to continue to advance their education. So she does a great job. And we had some 2025 faculty awards. So we had our Outstanding Advising, Elizabeth Steele, Outstanding Instructional Support, Hannah Ryan. Tina Fast was our Academic Contribution. Outstanding Mentor came from Robert Arwood. And he also won another award, I found out too. He is going overseas to do some research. Yes, yes, it came in, but after we had to submit this, so he's doing outstanding work, Dr. Arwood. Outstanding research is Dr. Nasper. Rising star is Eddie Shin, and you saw I reported on him last time I was here in March. He's doing some excellent work with our area communities and athletic and nutrition. So he has a grant that's, he's doing some study with some of our local middle schoolers. Outstanding teaching was Ms. Bice, and distinguished professor was Christina Feaser, and she is also retired this year, right? And this is our lovely view from the lake. We hope that you'll come visit us, and thank you for your attention, and I appreciate, again, the opportunity to bring the great works that we're doing at UVA Wise to this committee, and appreciate all your support. Thank you so much.
If there are any questions, we're happy to answer them. If not, we're happy to give some time back to the other board committee meetings.
Madam Chair, just one comment for Ms. Henry. You alluded to it almost in passing, but you're the first person associated with this university I've heard acknowledge the birth rate decline that started in 2007 and has continued ever since. And that's 18 years ago. And, you know, I kind of feel like we feel invulnerable to that at UVA. I think UVA Wise is less so, partly for geographic and the demographic reasons down there. And so I just appreciate you looking ahead that far and planning for that. Your side comment there in the housing was well taken, so thank you.
Well, Mr. Cuccinelli, it's something that I came to WISE in 2013, and it's been something that we've had to look at, is the demographic decline across the region, and it's projected to continue over the next 10 to 20 years. So that's part of why in our mission, not only do we want to support students and higher education, but we also lean into the community to try and help with economic development. So I think all of those pieces are important. We tried to pull as many levers as possible to really recruit students to come to the college and get an education from populations who they typically aren't interested or don't understand why a college education is important. So that accessibility and affordability is just critical to the college. Why we want to keep our tuition low, frankly, why the scholarship support that we've been able to develop and raise through this campaign I think it's been so impactful to the college. So, you know, people used to say to me when I first came to WISE, you know, what are your top 3 concerns? And I would always say it was enrollment, because we really needed to figure out how to, you know, we had to move beyond recruiting just from the area around the college in those counties and expand that. So the ARC program has just really helped with that moving forward. And then, you know, we're continuing to lean into Northern Virginia. And I also believe the Year in WISE program is going to be instrumental. Not only has it brought us enrollments, but I think it's really just helped to get the name of UVA Wise out, that it's a great institution. This spring, I was at our service day event and talking to several students, and one of the students was asking questions about study abroad, and I said, well, we have great programs, and she said, well, I'm a Year in Y student, so I'm going to be going to Charlottesville next year. And I said, well, if you want to do study abroad at Charlottesville, you have lots of opportunities to do that. And she said to me, she said, I know, but she said, it's so hard to leave WISE. And, you know, and I said, you know, that's really what this program should be about, those opportunities, and that if you decide to stay, it's great. If you decide to move on, it's great. And I think all of that is just helping the college to move forward. But I cannot let myself forget that even though we're successful right now, not only are we having a demographic decline, but now the entire nation has less students graduating from high school. So we just have to continue to be mindful of that moving ahead. And so now when people ask me, what are my top 3 priorities? Enrollment stays at the top, but number 2 now is retention. And then number 3 is going to be that getting students to progress to graduation. I think we can do a better job at that. Our provost, Gary Johnson, is here, and that, I think, is now his first priority. And we're leaning into those pieces. And I'm looking forward to report to the board the progress that we make there.
Thank you.
Donna, I was interested in your game trailer competition. And at my undergraduate alma mater, we actually, about 4 or 5 years ago, put into place a program for esports and e-games, which is now, there's a nationally sanctioned body, there's a mid-Atlantic sanctioned body. We got, I can't remember the exact numbers, 8 or 10 students, top caliber academic students, coming to pay full tuition that could have gone to other schools just because of that program. I've sent you the link to it. Are you all competing in that, or?
So gaming for us at the college is really a club sport. We have not gone into, but within the NCAA, you can actually now do esports. So it is something that we're looking at in our conference. There really aren't a number of schools that have gone in that, so it would be, we wouldn't have a conference challenge. But it is something that we're looking at, and I know the other schools in the conference have begun to look at that. But we have a beautiful gaming hub at the college. I like to go sit in there and work because nobody can find me. But it's a great space, comfy chairs. The students just really love it. But I think you're right. It is something that we should look at further because it could
A marketing
enhance.
opportunity.
It
Yep.
is.
And very interdisciplinary, like with the music and so forth. And so it brings everything with
Physics,
everything.
science.
Yeah. This is
Yes.
a very umbrella type
Yeah.
process.
When I came on the board in 17, UVA Wise was not in the position that it is today. There were significant headwinds, enrollment was down, there were challenges about it, numerous financial challenges, et cetera. And the job that Chancellor Henry has done over the past 8 years is truly remarkable. The school is in extraordinary strength, has extraordinary strengths right now. The programs that have been introduced, Masters in Nursing, the nursing school, the hospitality management program, all of those are a testament to her leadership and to her desire to make sure that UVA Wise would provide a fantastic educational experience for its students. And so I just commend her. It's been amazing. I think enrollment it's going to be close to 2,500 this year, up from 700, I think, back then. Dan Brody's been down there. It's truly a gem. And obviously, I have a sweet spot in my heart for it for many reasons, one of it being that I'm from Southwest Virginia. But I have a sweet spot in my heart because it's been so accretive to the University of Virginia. And the simpatico and the relationship between the two entities has never been stronger. So this is my last meeting, so my last chance to comment publicly, but I just wanted to thank you, Donna, for an amazing job and echo the chairwoman's comments. If you've not been to Wise, you have to go. And somehow you've got to convince her husband, Alan, to make dinner for you. Because that is quite an event. And the conversation's great and his cooking is fantastic. So, Donna, thank you for everything you've done. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate that, Rotunda.
Okay, so we get the good news and the brevity award, and I will.
Oh,
unless
thank
there's
you.
any-
Yeah, that's for Bob Blue. You killed it. Yeah.
Is there any more, if there's no more discussion for the Committee on Wise, then I will.
I would only observe that WISE is like a boiled down version of the connection to the contribution to the community is much purer and more easier to see. Now, the whole institution is a much more complex institution. It's part of the reason, but it is a worthwhile thing for the rest of us to keep in mind for the rest of the system. So I appreciate that too.
Thank you.
There's usually some open seats for convocation on the university jet for anybody who wants to come down in August. It's a nice ceremony.
Yes.
Okay, then I will adjourn our committee meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll take a 5-minute break and then I'll let Madam Chair know.
That's good news. That's fun.